This is a presentation of my developing ideology of education. Throughout this piece, I'll discuss the ideologies I've developed at this point and explain why these ideas in teaching are so important to me. As well as this, I'll be discussing why I would like to apply them to my own teaching in the future. Before I began university, I hadn't really thought about my own ideology of education. I was just certain that I wanted a career in teaching. When I began my course in education studies, I was introduced to key thinkers who I automatically felt I connected to because of their ideas of education and how they would impact me in terms of the teacher that I would want to be one day. Some of the theorists that I have found most interesting over the course so far are Robin Alexander and his ideas of dialogical teaching, and Guy Claxton and his ideas of building learning power. As well as considering the ideas of key thinkers, I also reflected on the importance of factors such as the learning environment, independence, and the learning and teaching styles used in a school. The aims and purpose of education, according to my developing ideology, is to treat each child as an individual, provide equal opportunities for every pupil, and work towards attaining the best achievements possible. Although not all of my ideas resonate to those in the current national curriculum, which is developed by the Department for Education, I still believe there are parts of it which should be considered and put into practice by teachers in the modern day. The curriculum prepares pupils at the school for opportunities, responsibilities, and experiences of later life. As a part of my developing ideology, I think the importance of the current national curriculum should be appreciated. I believe there should be a set of standards within each school that should be applied to their teaching in order to give each child an equal chance in order to be prepared for later life. In my ideology, I have determined the importance of feedback. I believe the communication between students and teachers is necessary in education. As a part of my developing ideology, I think as a teacher it is possible to benefit from and improve the skills of delivering a lesson to a class by receiving feedback from pupils on their preferred learning styles that they have experienced. By listening and responding to what children actually say and do, teachers are in a position to support individuals more effectively in their learning. If a teacher is to ask for feedback from their class on how the lesson benefited their learning after a lesson, they are able to gain knowledge into the thoughts of the teaching styles used. As well as this, they are able to discover which types of a lesson will enable children to achieve the best grades possible, whether it be through a more interactive lesson or more time spent on independent learning. Therefore, by using communication and receiving feedback, they are able to critically reflect their own lesson plans in order to improve for the next planning of a future lesson, as well as improving the learning of their pupils. The main aspects of my ideology of education so far include recognising the importance that every child is unique. I believe that in some schools, children are not treated as individuals and are rather seen as a group of pupils who should all be able to adjust to the learning styles used by the teacher, which is simply not the case according to my own ideologies. One of the main focuses of my developing ideology resonates to the ideas of Guy Claxton's building learning power, which focuses on the importance of relationships and perception. These relationships can be between pupils, teachers, and parents. As a part of my ideology of education, I believe that it is important for parents and teachers to appreciate that every child is unique, as well as understanding the importance of enabling pupils to develop their own perception of themselves in terms of how they have been influenced by the experience of education. Learning power is about how learners perceive themselves as learners, rather than how they are seen by others. This suggests that my ideological ideas based around the importance of understanding each child is unique and is supported by key thinkers in education who are referred to in the modern day. Part of my ideology is to support and appreciate the variation of learning environments that can be used in teaching in the modern day. These can include both indoors and the outdoors. Not every child will be motivated by the promise of getting their hands dirty, so it's vital they are given a choice. I believe it is important to allow children to adjust to a variation of environments in order to help them to introduce them to changing places of learning. For example, attending school trips, remaining in the classroom, or even giving the pupils an option to learn outside but still staying on the school grounds. This could also aid them in terms of placing them in a direction of where they would like to learn in the long term, including further education or in their work life. To conclude, these are the main ideas behind my developing the ideology of education so far. Be positively influenced by what and where we learn, have a balanced level of communication with both parents and teachers, communicate regularly about how we feel about what we are learning and how we are learning this information. Finally, give feedback. If something isn't working for the learner or the teacher, it should be said so it can be solved. Each of these are the focuses that I see as essential in order for a child to have a positive experience in education.